Daniel was a good man. He was known far and wide for his kindness and integrity. His gentle demeanor and unwavering faith made him a beloved figure in his community. People often sought his counsel, knowing that his advice was always rooted in wisdom and compassion. Daniel's life was a testament to his deep devotion and moral strength. He loved God and always tried to do what was right. Every morning, Daniel would spend hours in prayer, seeking guidance and strength from his faith. His dedication to his spiritual practices was unwavering, and it was this deep connection to his beliefs that guided his every action. Whether he was alone in quiet contemplation or reading sacred texts, Daniel's faith was the cornerstone of his life. Daniel was also very smart. His intellect was matched only by his curiosity and love for learning. He spent countless hours studying ancient manuscripts and scrolls, always eager to expand his knowledge. His scholarly pursuits were not just for personal gain but to better serve his community and his king. Daniel's wisdom was a beacon of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. He worked for King Darius, who ruled over Babylon. In the royal court, Daniel's talents were quickly recognized. King Darius saw in him a man of unparalleled wisdom and integrity. The king valued Daniel's counsel and often sought his advice on matters of state. Daniel's presence in the court was a testament to his exceptional abilities and the trust the king placed in him. The king trusted Daniel and made him an important leader. Daniel's rise to prominence was swift, and he was soon given significant responsibilities. The king honored him with titles and positions that reflected his trust and admiration. Daniel's leadership was marked by fairness and justice, and he became a role model for others in the court. His influence extended far beyond the palace walls, touching the lives of many in the kingdom. Daniel's wisdom and honesty were known throughout the land. People from all walks of life respected him for his integrity and fairness. He was often called upon to mediate disputes and offer guidance. His reputation as a just and wise leader spread far and wide, and his words carried great weight. Daniel's influence was a force for good, and his actions inspired many to follow in his footsteps. People respected him, but some were jealous of his position and closeness to the king. In the shadows of the court, envy began to fester. There were those who could not bear to see Daniel's success and the favor he found with the king. Whispers of discontent and jealousy grew louder, and a group of conspirators began to plot against him. Their envy blinded them to Daniel's true worth and the good he brought to the kingdom. These jealous men looked for a way to bring Daniel down. They schemed and plotted in secret, searching for any weakness they could exploit. Their hearts were filled with malice, and they were determined to see Daniel fall from grace. They knew that attacking his character directly would be difficult, so they sought to trap him in a situation where his faith and loyalty would be tested. Their plans were devious and their intentions clear. They wanted to hurt him. Their jealousy had turned into a burning desire for revenge. They were willing to go to great lengths to see Daniel suffer, and their plotting grew more intense with each passing day. The conspirators' determination to bring Daniel down was fueled by their own insecurities and ambitions. They believed that by removing him, they could elevate their own positions and gain the favor of the king. Little did they know their actions would set the stage for a test of true courage and faith. The jealous men watched Daniel closely. They knew he prayed to God every day. They thought, "We can use this against him." They came up with a plan. The men went to King Darius with their plan. "Oh, King Darius," they said, "we have a wonderful idea. You are so great, so powerful, that for 30 days, no one should pray to anyone but you. Anyone who disobeys should be thrown into the lion's den." King Darius liked the idea. The grand hall was filled with the murmurs of his advisors, each one eager to please the king. They had presented him with a proposal that seemed to promise greater control and reverence from his subjects. The idea was simple yet profound. A decree that would require everyone in the kingdom to pray only to King Darius for the next 30 days. This, they assured him, would solidify his power and unify the people under his rule. He thought it would make him seem even more powerful. The king, holding his golden scepter, envisioned the respect and admiration that would follow. He imagined his subjects bowing in reverence, their prayers directed solely to him. It was a heady thought, one that filled him with a sense of invincibility. The advisors, seeing his growing enthusiasm, pressed on, highlighting the benefits of such a decree. He didn't realize it was a trap for Daniel. The advisors, however, had ulterior motives. They knew of Daniel's unwavering faith in his God, and saw this decree as a perfect opportunity to ensnare him. As they whispered among themselves, their deceitful plan took shape. They were confident that Daniel would never comply with the decree, and this would give them the leverage they needed to bring him down. The king made it a law. With a flourish, King Darius signed the decree, sealing it with his royal insignia. The scroll, now a symbol of his absolute authority, was handed to the royal messengers. The king, unaware of the trap laid for Daniel, felt a sense of accomplishment. He believed he was taking a step towards greater unity and strength for his kingdom. It was announced throughout the land. The town criers with their booming voices proclaimed the new law in every village and town. Messengers on horseback distributed scrolls, ensuring that every corner of the kingdom was aware of the decree. The people, though puzzled, dared not question the king's command. They knew the consequences of defiance. Daniel heard about the new law. When the news reached Daniel, he was deeply troubled. He knew the implications of the decree and understood the danger it posed to his faith. The messenger's words echoed in his mind, but Daniel's resolve remained unshaken. He had always been a man of principle, and this challenge would be no different. But he knew in his heart that he could not stop praying to God. Despite the looming threat, Daniel's faith was unwavering. He spent hours in earnest prayer, seeking guidance and strength. In moments of contemplation, he reflected on the teachings and the unwavering faith of his ancestors. He knew that abandoning his prayers would mean forsaking his beliefs, something he could never do. He knew it was wrong to pray to anyone else. Daniel's determination grew stronger with each passing day. He looked towards the heavens, drawing strength from his unwavering faith. He understood that true devotion could not be swayed by earthly decrees. His loyalty to his God was paramount, and he was prepared to face any consequence that came his way. Daniel continued to pray to God, just as he always had. Every morning, noon, and night, Daniel knelt by his window facing Jerusalem and prayed. His prayers were a testament to his faith and his defiance of the unjust decree. He knew that his actions were being watched, but his commitment to his God was unwavering. Daniel's prayers echoed through the halls of his home, a beacon of hope and faith in a time of uncertainty. The jealous men were thrilled. They had been waiting for an opportunity to bring Daniel down. Daniel, a man of unwavering faith and integrity, had always been favored by the king. This made the other officials envious and resentful. They knew that the only way to trap Daniel was through his devotion to his God. So, they devised a cunning plan to exploit his religious practices. They snuck around and saw Daniel praying to God. Every day, Daniel would kneel by his window facing Jerusalem and pray 3 times. It was a ritual he never missed, no matter the circumstances. The men watched him intently, their eyes gleaming with malice. They knew they had the evidence they needed to accuse him. They ran to the king and told him, "Daniel is breaking your law." They were eager to see Daniel punished. They reminded the king of the decree he had signed, which stated that anyone who prayed to any god or human other than the king would be thrown into the lion's den. The king listened, his face growing more troubled with each word. "He is praying to his God, not to you." The king was upset. He had been tricked into signing the decree, not realizing it would endanger Daniel. The king valued Daniel's wisdom and loyalty, and the thought of losing him was distressing. He felt trapped by his own law, unable to find a way out. He liked Daniel and didn't want to punish him. The king spent hours pondering over the situation, searching for a loophole that could save Daniel. He admired Daniel's unwavering faith and dedication, qualities that had made him a trusted advisor. The king's heart was heavy with sorrow, knowing that he had been manipulated by the other officials, but he had made a law and had to enforce it. The decree was sealed with the king's signet ring, making it irrevocable. The law of the Medes and Persians could not be altered, even by the king himself. The officials pressed the king, reminding him of the importance of upholding the law. Reluctantly, the king conceded, knowing he had no choice. The king ordered his guards to seize Daniel and throw him into the lion's den. The guards approached Daniel, their faces stern and unyielding. Daniel did not resist. He knew his fate was in God's hands. As they led him away, the king's heart ached with regret. He wished he could do something to save his loyal advisor. The den was a deep pit, home to hungry lions. Daniel was trapped inside. The lions prowled around, their eyes glowing in the darkness. The pit was cold and foreboding, a place where no one had ever survived. Daniel stood alone, his faith unwavering, trusting that his God would deliver him from this peril. The king was sad, but he thought, surely Daniel's God will save him. He returned to his palace, unable to eat or sleep, his mind consumed with worry. The king's faith in Daniel's God was a small glimmer of hope in the midst of his despair. He spent the night in restless anticipation, praying that a miracle would occur. Section 5. A king's worry. That night, King Darius couldn't sleep. He was so worried about Daniel. He paced back and forth. He couldn't eat. He kept thinking about Daniel in the lion's den. He wished he hadn't listened to the jealous men. The king hoped and prayed that Daniel was all right. He knew Daniel's God was powerful, and he hoped that God would show mercy on Daniel. The night seemed to go on forever. As soon as the sun rose, King Darius rushed to the lion's den. He called out in a shaky voice, "Daniel, Daniel, are you still alive? Did your God save you?" To his immense relief, a voice answered. It was Daniel. Daniel said, "My God sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions. They did not hurt me. My God protected me because I am innocent." King Darius was overjoyed. He immediately ordered his guards to lift Daniel out of the den. Daniel was unharmed. The king was so happy that Daniel's faith had been rewarded. King Darius then ordered the jealous men to be thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children. The lions were hungry and quickly overpowered them. The wicked men who had tried to harm Daniel were punished. The story of Daniel in the lion's den is a powerful reminder that faith can overcome any obstacle. Daniel's unwavering belief in God saved him from a terrible fate. Even in the face of danger, Daniel never lost his faith. He knew that God was with him, and that knowledge gave him the strength to endure. We all face challenges and difficult times in our lives, but the story of Daniel teaches us that even in the darkest of places, God's love and protection are always with us. When we trust in God, we are never truly alone. He is always there to guide us, protect us, and see us through any storm. Like Daniel, let us hold on to our faith, especially during challenging times, and trust in God's unwavering love.